Are you ready for the number one most popular, highly rated sex position in the Intimately Us app? You're going to love it. Welcome to the Get Your Marriage On podcast. I'm your host, Dan Purcell, a Christian marriage and intimacy expert and coach. I'm on a mission to help couples have the best sex and most emotionally intimate marriages possible. Our episodes cover topics you've always wondered about and are packed with practical advice designed to help you take your marriage to the next level. Everyone, you've come to our fourth and final Sextember podcast episode. Isn't this been a great month? Today is also a really spicy topic, and the reason why I do these is I want to illustrate how important it is that you add variety and spice to your intimate marriage. This is how you keep it vital for the long term. Recently, someone posted in our private Get Your Marriage On Facebook group, which, by the way, if you're not a member of, I highly recommend you join. I'll put the link in the show notes. But in this private Facebook group, someone asked this question. My wife wants to spice things up in the bedroom. She's saying we should do more sex positions, but I have no idea where to start. Well, this podcast episode is for you and everyone like you in a similar situation. So, we've had sex position illustrations, by the way, they're very tastefully done and drawn. They've been in the Intimately Us app for about 2 years now, which is a fantastic source of inspiration and creativity for many couples who have looked at those and used them. Another feature that we have as part of it is users can rate and review their favorite positions. So I'm presenting for you today the top 10 sex positions of all time rated in the Intimately Us app. If you don't have the app, download it today. It's Intimately Us in the App Store. If you do have it, please consider upgrading to the premium version. It unlocks all of the best features of the app when you do so. So, are you as curious as I am which sex positions in the app are the highest rated? Ready? Here we go. Coming at number 10 is a sex position turtle. This is where you kneel down so low that your husband can penetrate you deeply from behind. For the wife, you're going to get down on your knees and lower yourself so that your chest is on the bed. You're going to wrap your arms around to the back of your legs so that your butt is in the air, that you're slightly balled up in a turtle position. Husbands, you're going to kneel behind your wife and make love to her. Her position makes it easier to penetrate deeply, so you want to be really careful and have a lot of good communication there. Coming in at number 9 is cat, and it's not about the feline. This is short for the coital alignment technique. It's a sex position that's done in the missionary position, but instead of thrusting in and out, you're going to use grinding motions instead to stimulate the wife's clitoris. This is how to get started. Wives, you're going to want to lie on your back, and while your husband enters you, you want to tip your pelvis upwards and maybe spread your labia just a little bit, maybe apply some lubricant around your clitoral area. And you're going to want to see if you can grind your clitoris against the base of his penis. Husbands, you're going to climb on top of her, enter her, and instead of thrusting in and out, you're going to focus mostly on movements that are going to stimulate her clitoris using the base of your penis or even your own pubic bone. Now, what's beautiful about this is it's really heavily focused on clitoral stimulation, which is absolutely necessary for women to reach orgasm. Give this one a try and tell me what you think. Coming in at number 8 is called Couch-tastic. This is a penetration from behind position where the wife leans forward on a couch or like a kitchen counter. So wives, you're going to lean forward onto the couch or the edge of the couch or onto the counter. You're going to spread your legs and bring one up onto the couch to open up space for penetration. And once he's penetrated, you can put your leg back down if that helps. Husbands, you're going to stand behind your wife. You're going to put one knee on the edge of the couch between her legs for stability. You're going to grab her hips and penetrate her from behind. Popular sex position number 7 is called backbreaker. In summary, this is where the wife lies on top of her husband face up while he penetrates her from behind. So husbands, this is what you're going to do. You're going to lay down on a comfortable surface, such as your bed, with your legs slightly spread up, and you're going to let your wife lay directly on top of you. Her head should rest next to yours, and her legs will be on the outside of your legs. Then you're going to penetrate her from this position before she moves her legs up more to the side. You can move your hips up and down to thrust. Once her legs are planted more firmly on the ground, she'll have more room to move herself and have a little more control in that and keep from being pushed off of you. Wives, this is what you'll want to do. You're going to lie down on your husband with your back on his chest, so face up, with her head off to the side of his head, and having your legs spread to the outside of his legs. Let your husband penetrate you and then reposition your legs so that they are further back and more in a planted position with your feet flat on the bed. When your feet are planted, you are less likely to be bucked off of your husband, and you can keep yourself in this position a lot better. You can also push with your legs to help with the thrusting. Popular sex position number 6 coming in at you is Cowboy. Yeehaw! In summary, this is a husband on top sex position that has a really tight fit and access to clitoral stimulation. Wives, this is what you're going to do. You're going to lie down on your back with your legs slightly apart, and you're going to let your man straddle you and ride you like a cowboy. How does that sound? Husbands, you're going to straddle your wife facing her, but instead of laying on top of her, you're going to lean forward gently to penetrate her and then sit up and ride her like a cowboy. You have great access to her breasts from this position, or you can come down close and hold her arms. Having your legs more closed will create a tighter feel, which feels awesome for you both. Speaking of positions, the Get Your Marriage On program is a great way to position your marriage for more success. Couples who join this program find more closeness, intimacy. They have a greater capacity to deal with the anxiety that comes from wanting to build a sexual and intimate relationship. And we cover all aspects of intimacy, not just sexual intimacy, but spiritual and emotional intimacy also. Think how much freedom, passion, and joy can come from your marriage a year from now after working with me privately or with my team and coaching. You get to also be involved in a community that's like-minded, and you also get access to an amazing course that's very comprehensive that walks you through everything you need to do to build an intimate relationship. It's the Get Your Marriage On program, and those details are also on our website. Coming at number 5 is called Butterfly. This is a sex position where the wife lies on the side of the bed while her husband stands in front of her and makes love to her. I'm not surprised that the butterfly position is a fan favorite because it's a treat that the husband can give to his wife, as this is a position where it can be really relaxing and lazy for her, but also incredibly pleasurable. Wives, all you need to do is lie down on her back on either side of the bed or a table, like on the edge. This is an amazing position for the wife because it's one where your husband does all the work, so you can just relax, enjoy your treat. When your husband is in position, you can rest your legs on him with your ankles resting on his shoulders, or if you prefer, you can put your legs to either side of his waist. Let him do all the work and enjoy it. He'll keep your pelvis raised for you, but if you'd like to give him some extra support, you can add some cushions under your bottom too. Husbands, make sure your wife is at the edge of the bed or a table and have her rest her legs on you. You're going to grab her thighs or her butt and raise her pelvis up and make love to her. If you prefer, you can do this kneeling as well if height differences work out better. But you'll find it's easier to move around and move further and backwards and forwards and whatever if you're standing. By the way, this is a great position to stimulate her G-spot if she's the type of woman that responds really well to G-spot stimulation. Coming in at number 4 is Stallion. Now, some people call this doggy style, but I think Stallion sounds so much manlier, so much better. This is a husband from behind sex position. Wives, you're going to get down on your hands and knees on all fours. You're going to put your bottom in the air. And you can, as your husband enters you, you can push back against your husband as he makes love to you from behind. So you can have a lot of control, and you can adjust your hip height. You can rotate your pelvis forward or back, or raise your arms up and down to control the different angles of penetration here. Husband, you're going to kneel behind your wife and penetrate her. You can grab her by her hips and enjoy making love to her. Let me interrupt this countdown to tell you about a free training I have available on my website. It's for any couple in an otherwise good marriage but wishes things were better when it came to sex and intimacy. You might long for more novelty and adventure in the bedroom, or you might wish for a closer emotional bond between you and your spouse. You wish you could talk about intimate matters that mean so much to both of you, but you're either always avoiding the topic or you're fighting about it. If that's you, then this training is for you. You'll find this free training on my website, getyourmarriageon.com, and you're going to click on the link that says Free Masterclass. I'll also leave the link in the description below. Now, back to our countdown. Coming in at number 3 is a classic missionary position. This is by far the most popular position that couples use during their time of coitus or their marital congress or whatever term you'd like to use. It works really well. It's popular because it's comfortable and it's intimate because it's face to face. And this is usually the husband's on top of the wife and the husband is in control of this one. Wives, all you need to do is lie on your back with your head propped up on a pillow and have your legs spread apart. Let your husband make love to you. Mostly, your husband has the control here, but you can tilt your pelvis or you can wrap your legs around your husband's waist to change things up. If your clitoris isn't getting the stimulation it needs, you can also reach down and lend a hand by adding some stimulation yourself. This position works really well when you're highly aroused. Husbands, you're going to lay on top of your wife and penetrate her. It's possible that she might need some extra clitoral stimulation. So while in this position, you can also reach down and lend a hand and stimulate her, or she can stimulate herself. You can smother her in kisses as you thrust your hips forward as you make love to her. Coming in at number 2 is Cowgirl. This is where the wife rides her husband like a cowgirl. Yeehaw! Husbands, you're going to lie on a comfortable surface such as your bed or the floor with your legs slightly apart and your knees slightly raised. You're going to let your wife ride you like a cowgirl. You can even try to buck her off if you like. Wives, this is where you straddle your husband while facing him. Help him penetrate you and then grind, rotate your hips or bounce up and down on him and ride him like a cowgirl. Remember, ladies, you are in charge in this position, so you're going to move in a way that feels good for you. So find the right angle, find the right motion, find the right grinding motion, whatever it is that helps you feel stimulated and excited in this position. Are you ready for the number 1 most popular, highly rated sex position in the Intimately Us app for this year? You're going to love it. Coming at number 1 is bread basket. Bread basket is a sex position where the wife stimulates her husband using her breasts. So wives, this is a great position for you when you're menstruating or need to change things up in the bedroom. It adds more novelty and fun. You're going to lie down on your back in a comfortable position, and you're going to let your husband straddle you around your chest, and he's going to place his penis between your breasts. Make sure you have some lube nearby, and you're going to slather your breasts with lots of lubricant. That way it can slide back and forth easily. You're going to squeeze your breasts together to, encapsulate his penis while he thrusts. Husbands, you're going to straddle your wife and add a lot of lube to her chest and breasts. Place her penis between her breasts and let her squeeze them around you as you thrust back and forth. There it is, our top 10 list. What did you think? What ones have you tried? What ones do you want to try? Leave a comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you've enjoyed this fun top 10 list of sex positions. Remember, there's so much more to building an intimate marriage than just geometry of your bodies in the bedroom. If you haven't yet, please download our app, Intimately Us, from the App Store. If you have the app already, please share with all of your married friends. I promise they will thank you for life. Also, check out our free training on our website on how to build a better intimate marriage.